Welcome to livingpianos.com and virtualsheetmusic.com. I'm Robert Estrin, and today's question is, how long do piano strings last? This is a great question without a simple answer. You know, if you play the guitar, you know that the natural oils in your hands and you have to change those strings to get a lively tone. And piano strings are subject to the elements as well. But there is not a definitive answer. There is a tremendous range. For example, right now I have two Steinways in, and one of them is original from the 1930s with the original strings, and they sound glorious. The bass strings have a vibrant tone. There are no broken strings. There's no corrosion. The tone is gorgeous. I have another Steinway from the 1980s, and that piano we restrung. The strings were needing to be restrung already. How can this be? How can a piano, decades older have good strings than this newer piano? It has to do with the environment. You see, the strings of your piano don't actually age except for the elements. So a piano that is in a very humid environment, like a beach piano, for example, I've seen pianos that were in beach apartments or homes with the windows open and the piano left open, where it was completely rusted out, with strings breaking, completely gone in as little as a decade, 10 years, boom, that piano needs to be restrung. Yet, here in the beautiful Southern California climate, if you're about 10 miles from the beach and far from the desert, it's almost an ideal environment for pianos. And I've seen pianos with original strings, 80-year-old pianos. So, I guess the long and short of it is, most pianos 50 to 75 years, maybe. I've seen some pianos approaching 100 years that the strings are still quite good. Now you can start to lose vibrancy in the tone in the copper wound bass strings soonest. The way to check for this is play a descending scale on your piano and look inside where you get to the copper strings. And if at the point at which it goes from the steel strings to the copper strings, you hear an abrupt change of tone, then those strings are dead. Sometimes you can bring back to life by twisting the strings. Sometimes you can just replace only the bass strings and you'll be fine. But sometimes, if you see several broken strings on your piano, the handwriting is on the walls that more strings will probably break as well. So you're smart to restring a piano, particularly if you have the combination of dead bass strings and broken treble strings. That's a sure sign that restringing can improve the sound and the longevity of your piano. If you have any specific pianos you're wondering about, send me pictures. I'm happy to advise you on your pianos or any pianos you see out there. Thanks so much for joining me. Robert Estrin here at livingpianos.com and virtualsheetmusic.com.